A baby boy aged 4 years is admitted to play school and passes through a dental checkup. The dentist observed that the boy had 20 teeth. Which type of teeth are most likely to be absent in this child? Okay. So here, I want you all to remember that whenever you talk about humans, we basically have diphyodont type of teeth. All right. I'm just talking about the overview. Of course, we have monophyodont type of teeth as well. But when you talk about the overall dentition and overall appearance of the teeth, we usually have two sets of teeth that appear in the lifetime. First is called as the permanent teeth and the temporary teeth. Okay. Starting with the first one, that is the temporary teeth first. Temporary teeth are also called as the milk teeth. Okay. What are these milk teeth or temporary teeth? It is basically that set of teeth which usually fall off after certain age and are going to be replaced by the permanent set of teeth, which is the second set of teeth. All right. Okay. Now, what are the differences that are existing between these two sets of teeth? First thing is, these temporary teeth do not have any premolars in them. Okay. So I'm putting a cross across premolars because it is not there in case of temporary teeth. Also, one more point is that the third molar, the third set of molar is also absent in the temporary set of teeth. Okay. Now let us go back to the question and understand what exactly was the question asking. So the question was asking in this 4-year-old boy, child, basically doctor or the dentist observed that this boy had 20 teeth. So which teeth are supposed to be or likely to be absent here? The answer here is going to be premolars, okay, which is option B. Let me tell you why I'm not saying molars. Because this question is asking about absence of certain type of teeth, right? So this is the most common mistake that children happen to make in this kind of question. Because what happens is that you have learned that in case of milk teeth or temporary teeth, the third molar is absent. But you need to remember that at least the first two molars are present there and are not completely absent. So this type of molar teeth is not completely absent in case of milk teeth. What is absent is only the third set of it. But when the question asks you about a total absence or directly about the absence of specific type of teeth, when we are comparing the milk teeth and the permanent teeth, the answer is always going to be premolars because they are entirely absent in case of milk teeth or the temporary teeth. Right? You all got my point. So this is a very important point that you have to keep in mind while you are attempting this kind of question in the exam. It's very straightforward, it's very simple, but we still tend to make mistakes in such questions because of the reason that I just specified. All right. So let us quickly revise all the concepts related to this dentition and temporary and the permanent teeth, right? So the teeth in children are not permanent and they are deciduous in nature. Deciduous means they are going to fall off after certain age. Okay. Thus, the set of teeth which is deciduous is called the milk teeth, whereas the teeth that grows after the shedding of milk teeth are called as permanent teeth. So as I already specified, the two types of teeth are temporary teeth or the milk teeth and the permanent teeth. Going ahead, the human adult has a set of permanent teeth and the types of teeth that are present here are incisors, canines, premolars and molars. You will always remember them in this sequence. ICPM, okay, that is incisors, canines, premolars and molars. All right. So as I was telling you all, this premolars is what is absent in the milk teeth, right, in the temporary set of teeth. Okay, now let us look at the function and how they are exactly placed in the whole dentition as such. So the front 4 teeth of the upper jaw and the front 4 teeth of the lower jaw are called as incisors, and these ones, if you have noticed, are very flat kind of thing, right? So they basically have help in biting into the food or kind of cutting into the food, right? Just imagine yourself to kind of taking a bite of the fruit, right? Now some of you might say that we take a bite from here or this side, but that that is not what I'm trying to tell you here. I'm trying to tell you that when you try to bite into or put a sharp end into something to bite, to create a whole incision kind of thing, you use your incisors, right? So incisors are these four front teeth. As you go behind them, the next set of teeth that are there are called as canines, right? These canines help in tearing or ripping apart of food. This is a very important point, because if you've seen, like you must have seen a dog outside your, wherever you live, or you might have a dog at your home also. You know how in case of carnivorous animals, like especially dog, etc., or lion, you look at any wild animal, they have very highly developed canines. Why do you think this happens? This simply happens because their food habit is to hunt, to tear apart the flesh and then eat. And for that reason, canines are very highly developed in those animals. For us, it is 2 canines in the upper jaw and 2 canines in the lower jaw, which is present right behind the incisors. Okay, so these front ones are incisors, like you see in this image. The ones that are following it are the canines, and they help in tearing and ripping of the food. Followed by canine are your premolars and your molars. And these are the premolars which are going to be absent in case of set of the milk teeth. All right. So I'm writing it down here so that you can take it down and remember this point. So going ahead, premolars and molars are called cheek teeth, which are broad and strong. And that is the reason why whatever we chew, usually we take it, behind towards the sides in our mouth, and allow the crushing and grinding of the food to happen easily. Okay, so they specialize in crushing and grinding of the food. When you talk about milk teeth again, of humans, it includes 8 incisors, 4 up, 4 below, that is 4 in the upper jaw, 4 in the lower jaw, 4 canines, that is 2 in the upper jaw and 2 in the lower jaw, 0 premolars. This is like the star mark point here, very, very, very important, because I told you premolars are completely and entirely absent in the set of milk teeth. Okay, and 8 molars. Fine. Going about the permanent teeth, they have 8 incisors, or rather we have 8 incisors, 4 canines, 8 premolars and 12 molars. So you see here the difference is that there is another set of molars that have been added here. Okay, but once again, molars are still present in case of milk teeth, even though the number is less, but it is still a part of milk teeth. All right, thus premolars would most likely be absent in the 4-year-old kid, as he is still having the milk teeth, and this is the same child that the question mentioned about, whom the dentist was examining. Okay, just to remind you, the dental formula of the milk teeth, it is going to be 2102 by 2102. Okay, where the sequence is going to be always, as I specified, ICPM, right? So this 2 represents incisor, 1 represents canine, 0 represents premolars, absence of premolars, and 2 represents molars. Okay, so when we are writing down this dental formula, please remember, we always write it down with respect to 1/2 of one-sided jaw, right? So for example, here the formula is written as the upper jaw versus the lower jaw, and only 1/2 of it is considered. So 1/2 of the upper jaw will have 2102 teeth, and the lower jaw, 1/2 of it will have the denominator value of it, that is this 2102 teeth, and we are multiplying it by 2 simply to take care of the remaining half, which we didn't measure. Okay, so this is what a dental formula looks like. So for this given question, what is going to be the right answer? Premolars are the ones that are going to be absent in this 4-year-old boy. I hope you all got that question correct. 2 friends are eating together on a dining table. One of them suddenly starts coughing while swallowing some food. This coughing would have been due to improper movement of, right? So I'm sure this might remind you of some scenario when you were doing the same thing, right? So basically this happens, this kind of coughing or sudden choking action happens, especially when we are speaking or maybe speaking too fast while we are swallowing some food or fluids. Okay, and why does this happen? Because we know that in our neck region, we basically have a common passage for food as well as air, and this is what is called as pharynx. Okay, From pharynx, basically, when you look at the dorsal side of the body, we have food pipe or esophagus, and on the ventral side of the body, we have windpipe. Okay, so air is supposed to enter into the trachea or the windpipe, whereas food is supposed to enter into esophagus. And in order to prevent any kind of confusion between two, that is, in order to prevent the entry of food or fluids into the windpipe, there is a beautiful cartilaginous flap-like structure which covers the opening of the windpipe at larynx. Okay, and this covering is what is called as epiglottis. When does someone start coughing while eating, or when does someone start choking, is basically because if at all there is sometimes entry of food or fluids by mistake into the windpipe, and epiglottis is basically not covered at that point of time. Okay, if epiglottis is not present, that basically means the entry point of the windpipe is going to remain open, and if this remains open, the person would start coughing. So what is going to be the right answer for this particular question, where it is asking about this coughing would be due to the improper movement of? The answer is going to be epiglottis, that is option A. Okay, what is epiglottis? I already told you all. It's a cartilaginous flap-like structure which basically guards or covers the opening of the larynx. Okay, let us quickly revise all the concepts related to this question and all description about these incorrect options as well. Fine. Pharynx is the common passage for food and air. The pharynx opens into esophagus, that is the food pipe, and trachea, that is the windpipe. So as you see here, this is the food pipe which we are showing in this image here, and pharynx, as you see, is labeled in this image. Going ahead, a cartilaginous flap called as epiglottis prevents the entry of food into glottis, which is the opening of larynx. So like you see in this moving image very beautifully, when this person is following this epiglottis, you see how it is closing over the windpipe so that the food enters only the food pipe, right? Of course, my marking has changed its place because it's a moving image. Fine. So epiglottis prevents the entry of food into the glottis. Talking about the incorrect option now, tongue was one of the listed option. What is tongue? It is a muscular organ which is found in mouth. What does it help in? It helps in, producing the speech that, like right now I'm speaking, my tongue is touching various different parts of the mouth, and so would be the case with you. Okay, so this tongue first helps in production of the speech. Of course, the sound and all comes from the larynx or the voice box, but that's not what we are concerned about in this question right now. The next major thing that tongue does is basically allows the mixing and the mastication of the food by allowing a lot of amount of mixing of the food within the mouth. All right, so it helps in mastication of the food, forming the bolus, which is the mass of food that will be swallowed, right? Swallowing the food, as I said, and it also helps in speech. It is the primary organ of taste in the gustatory system. So gustatory basically refers to the tasting system, right? It's one of the senses that we have. Why does it happen? Because tongue has got these special elevated structures that you can actually see in the mirror if you go right now and open your mouth, try to protrude your tongue. You would see that the surface of the tongue is not really smooth. It has all these small raised surface. Those are called as papillae, and most of the papillae have taste buds in them except one of them, right? Next, diaphragm was another incorrect option that was given. What is diaphragm? As you see in this image, yes, diaphragm is basically a thin dome-shaped skeletal muscle that separates the abdominal cavity from the thoracic cavity. Okay, thoracic cavity is where all your lungs, heart, etc. are lying down. Okay, so thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity, the separation is happening with the help of diaphragm. Its main function is to aid breathing. It helps during inspiration and expiration. So this whole thing basically happens due to contraction and relaxation of the diaphragm muscles. The next incorrect option that was listed was neck. What is neck? I think we all know what is neck. It is that part of the body that connects the head to the rest of the body, right? So what is going to be the right answer for this particular question? It's going to be option A, epiglottis. Which one of the following correctly represents the normal adult human dental formula? Okay, now when you talk about dentition of human adult, when you talk about the arrangement of teeth of human adult, you know that there are 32 teeth in case of adult human, and these teeth are basically of various different types. We call them as ICPM, that is incisors, canines, premolars and molars. All right, premolars and molars. Okay, now these set of teeth, when we look at in one half of one jaw, okay, usually when we write down the dental formula, we write down the number of special type of teeth in one half of the upper jaw as the numerator, and the teeth which are present in the lower jaw in one half of it as the denominator. Okay, I'm just using the term numerator and denominator in the form of representation here. Okay, we are not going by any mathematical formula here. So the number of incisors which are present in one half of upper jaw is 2. Okay, the front 2 teeth, if you try to divide, make a partition from the center, the teeth which are going to be present on the right side or on the left side, you can take either of them. Okay, then talking about canine, we have 1 canine here, okay, right behind the incisor. Then comes premolar, which are 2 in number when you look at, once again, one half of one side of jaw. And then talk about molars, which is going to be 3 in number. So this is all about the upper jaw. Talking about the lower jaw now. Lower jaw also has similar number or identical number of teeth with respect to the upper jaw. So it is going to be 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it can be represented as 2, 1, 2, 3 by 2, 1, 2, 3, or 2 by 2, 1 by 1, 2 by 2, and 3 by 3. So this is the perfect dentition of an adult human when we look at the whole number of teeth and their arrangement. So the right answer here out of the given options is going to be option C, that is 2 by 2 incisors, 1 by 1 canine, 2 by 2 premolars, followed by 3 by 3 molars. Okay, every teeth has different type of function. Let us quickly revise all the concepts related to this particular question. The set of teeth which is deciduous is called as milk teeth. We know that we humans have teeth appear twice in our lifetime. That is the set of teeth we refer to. First is called as the temporary or the milk teeth, and the second is called as the permanent teeth. So this type of teeth is seen in children, whereas the teeth that grow after shedding of the milk teeth or deciduous teeth, these are called as permanent teeth. The human adult has a set of permanent teeth, and there are 4 kinds of teeth, incisors, canines, premolars and molars. Okay, teeth already is plural, tooth is singular, so never say teeths. Okay, incisors are usually specialized for cutting and biting. Canines are responsible for tearing action of the food. They lie immediately behind the incisors and are used for tearing and ripping of the food. Okay. Premolars and molars are slightly broad in appearance, and that is the reason why they literally form something like a crushing surface. Okay. So that is why they allow the crushing or the grinding of the food, and they are called as cheek teeth simply because they are lying like, just inner to the cheek as such. They are broad and they are strong. The permanent teeth have 8 incisors, 4 canines, 8 premolars and 12 molars, making it the set of 32 teeth which I told you right at the start of this question. Okay, going ahead, arrangement of teeth in each half of the upper and the lower jaw in the order of I, C, P, M. Incisors, canines, premolars, molars. Always try to remember it this way so that you never forget this. This is represented by a dental formula. And when you look at the adult dental formula, the adult dental formula for the permanent set of teeth, of course, is going to be 2, 1, 2, 3 by 2, 1, 2, 3. We have multiplied it by 2 here just to tell you that the second half is going to be identical to the first half that we have considered in the dental formula. Okay, so when I'm saying half, I'm basically talking about this line of division. Okay, so what is the right answer for this question? It's going to be option C. In humans, which teeth are specialized for cutting? Okay, so we know that the type of teeth when we talk about in humans, it is heterodont type of teeth. What does heterodont mean? Heterodont don't, right? It basically means that we have different types of teeth, of course, in appearance as well as in function. So different types of teeth is what we have. Okay, as you know, we have four major types of teeth. They are basically referred to as incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Okay, incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Fine. So in humans, which teeth are specialized for cutting? The incisors, that is the front four teeth of the upper jaw, and the front four teeth of the lower jaw are what are specialized for cutting or biting into the food. Okay, and that is why the answer here is going to be incisors, that is option A. Incisors are the ones which are responsible for biting into the food or cutting the food. The premolars and molars are the cheek teeth, which are basically their surface is little broad. They are very, very strong teeth, and hence they literally allow this kind of action to happen. That means what? It allows the crushing and grinding of the food. The other type which is not mentioned in the options here is basically the canines. Canines are these teeth, the teeth which are right behind the incisors. They are the sharp teeth, and they basically help in tearing action. For us, they are not as highly developed as it is developed for carnivorous animals, whose food habit is basically hunting, tearing apart and ripping apart of flesh and then eating it, right? So for those animals, of course, development of canines becomes very, very important. So overall function is very, very clear to you all, right? Let us quickly revise the concept here. Humans have four kinds of teeth. That is why I call them as heterodont. Incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. In the question, we have been provided with incisors, premolars, and molars, and none of the above was another option, right? Talking about incisors, they are the ones which are specialized for cutting, which is exactly what the question is asking. You see this incisor here? Yeah, that is what basically incisors do. They allow the cutting or biting of the food. Premolars and molars are called cheek teeth, which are broad and strong, and they are used for crushing and grinding the food. So the right answer for this particular question is going to be option A, that is incisors. Pulp cavity of a tooth is lined by. Okay, what is pulp cavity? First, just think of the structure of a tooth. Let me remind you this particular structure. Yes, so you see the structure of a tooth here, where you see this whitish colored coat, right? This whole white colored part of the tooth is what is called as enamel. Okay, it is one of the hardest substance known in the human body. Okay, now this enamel is followed by a layer of yellowish colored material, which is what is called as dentine. Okay, what is it called as? Dentine. Fine. This dentine is secreted by a set of cells which are called as odontoblast. Odontoblast, like it is written here. You are already seeing it here, right? Within the dentine is basically the pulp of the tooth, the pulp cavity which is filled with or which is supplied with a lot of blood vessels, nerves, etc. Okay, and this part is what is called as pulp. So the question was asking you, pulp cavity of the tooth is lined by, so this is lined by the cells which are called as odontoblast, because these are the ones which are secreting from the margin of the pulp cavity. These are secreting dentine. Okay, and this whole process of dentine formation is what is called as, let me write it down here, dentinogenesis. Okay, the meaning of word genesis always means formation or formation of something new. So dentinogenesis would be formation of dentine. Alright, so what is going to be the right answer for this question? It's going to be option A, that is odontoblast. Pulp cavity of a tooth is lined by odontoblast. There are other set of cells which are given here. There is chondroblast, there is osteoblast, there is a meloblast. All of these have various different functions. Chondroblast helps in formation of cartilaginous cells which are called as chondrocytes. Osteoblast basically, now you might be able to even guess it by yourself. Osteoblasts are the cells which basically forms the new bone cells by forming osteocytes. Okay, and talking about ameloblast, you remember I just spoke to you about enamel, the white coat of the tooth. That enamel is basically secreted by the ameloblast. So actually ameloblast secrete a protein which is called as enamelin, which gets deposited with a lot of minerals to finally form the hard and very, very strong enamel. Okay, you have understood the answer of this question. Let us quickly revise the concepts here. Odontoblast is a cell which is a part of the outer surface of the dental pulp. It is present in the vertebrates and its biological function is formation of dentine, which is what is called as dentinogenesis. It lines the pulp cavity. Fine. Going ahead, ameloblasts are the cells that deposit tooth enamel, like I already told you. Osteoblasts help in formation of the new bone cells, and chondroblast basically forms the new cartilaginous cells which are called as chondrocytes. Alright, so for us, for this question, the answer is going to be option A, that is odontoblast.